She had never been touched gently. Born beneath rusted grates and fed through iron bars, the young alien girl knew only orders, pain, and numbers inked into her skin. No one had ever called her by a name. No one had ever held her, until a human stepped into the pit, kneeled in the dirt beside her, and opened his arms without asking for anything in return. In that moment, everything changed, not because he freed her, but because he embraced her like she mattered. She was born in dirt and chains, her first cries echoing off the jagged stone walls of a subterranean pit that reeked of oil, sweat, and blood. No sunlight had ever touched her skin. No lullaby had ever been sung to her. Her earliest memories were the sharp sting of a handler's boot and the taste of stale nutrient paste shoved through the bars of her cage. The pit was her entire universe, a grim warren of rusted metal cages stacked atop one another, each holding someone who had long since forgotten what freedom felt like. She was called 718, not a name, just a number tattooed into the soft flesh of her shoulder. Her skin, a pale shade of moonlight gray, was perpetually smudged with dirt and grime, her small body clothed in nothing but a scratchy shift of sackcloth. At 9 years old in human measure, she had never known what it meant to be held, to be protected, to be loved. She didn't know such things existed, not for things like her. The handlers told her she'd be useful one day, strong enough to work the mines or obedient enough for worse. Until then she was trained, not with books but with shocks, hunger, and fear. Crying only earned punishment. Smiling was discouraged. Speaking was dangerous. Then one day, everything changed. The raid came like thunder, explosions above, the ceiling collapsing in fire and rubble. The ground shook beneath her feet as screams and weapons echoed in the darkness. She didn't run, didn't know where to go, just curled tighter in her cage, arms over her head, trembling. And then there were footsteps, heavy, deliberate, followed by the whine of a fusion cutter slicing through the bars. She expected pain. Instead, a soft voice, deep, strange, gentle. "Hey there! I've got you!" She looked up, and for the first time saw a human. His armor was scorched, face streaked with ash, but his eyes were warm. He knelt down, big hands reaching not to strike, but to lift her. She flinched anyway. "It's okay," he said. "You're safe now. I promise." He wrapped her in his jacket, thick, warm, too big, and held her against his chest like something precious. Her heart pounded as she pressed her ear to him, hearing a heartbeat, steady and calm. She had never heard one so close. He carried her out of the pit, up through shattered stone tunnels into the open air. It blinded her at first, the sun so bright it hurt, but the warmth on her skin felt like magic. She didn't understand what it meant, only that the cold inside her started to thaw. They brought her to a clean room, white walls, soft blankets, food that didn't taste like metal. The human stayed. His name was Grant. He never touched her without asking, never raised his voice, never demanded anything. He gave her real clothes, soft cotton pants, a faded blue shirt. He brushed her tangled hair and taught her how to hold a spoon. When nightmares made her scream, he ran to her bedside and held her tight, whispering, "You're safe. No one's going to hurt you." And slowly, something in her changed. She spoke her first words after 2 weeks. "I'm not 718. He blinked and smiled. "No, you're not. Do you want a name?" She nodded. He gave her one, Elia. She whispered it to herself for days, clinging to it like a shield. Elia. A name. Her name. When she asked what a daughter was, he showed her pictures, of families, of laughter, of children held gently and proudly. She stared at them for a long time, then looked at him and asked, "Could I be that?" He didn't answer with words. He just pulled her into his arms and held her close. She sobbed into his chest, shaking, as if years of silence cracked all at once. From then on, she followed him everywhere, tiny footsteps padding behind his boots. She learned to smile, to laugh, to draw pictures of suns and flowers. Her scars didn't vanish, but they faded beneath the warmth of love. Sometimes she would still wake up crying, whispering, "Don't let them take me back." And every time, Grant would kneel beside her bed, hands gentle as ever, voice steady. "No one will. I'm here, Elia. I'm not going anywhere." She had been born in a slave pit, in darkness, without hope. But now she had sunlight on her skin, a name in her heart, and arms that held her like she mattered. Not because she was useful, not because she had something to give, but simply because, to one human, she was a daughter.